What is up and welcome to SmartServers, a completely ground up rebuilt deliverability optimized infrastructure just for your campaigns, your clients and your success. I'll walk you through this and keep it very simple so you get why this is going to be the most powerful thing for you to introduce to your campaigns so that you get the best reply rates possible. Now, in short, what we've basically done is introduce enterprise-grade private infrastructure at a very nominal and valuable-driven price. So what you can do is, instead of working through our pool of servers and IP addresses that we have hundreds of thousands of those completely blacklist verified. We ensure that they're premium deliverability optimized servers. But if you do not want to use those and you want to have complete control and predictability in every format, which and manner, then this is exactly what you need to do. What we do is we basically give you a direct, not IP address, right? We give you a server, a dedicated server that we've sourced out that is blacklist proof, that is built for just outbound. So you can take that server, attach it to a campaign of yours or multiple campaigns of yours, whichever ones you prefer. So every single time emails are sent out, they're sent out from that private server, which then go ahead and go through your Google server, because or your SMTP service provider that you've got, and that go into your customer's inbox. Now, very quickly to explain why this matters on a deliverability perspective. As more so of recent perspectives, what has happened is Google's fingerprinting mechanism do capture the origination IP address. Now, this does not have a larger impact, but whoever have introduced SmartServers to their campaigns are seeing really good results. You have them range all the way from 5% increase in reply rates to sometimes almost 75% increase in reply rates. Nonetheless, it's just been nothing but positive altogether. So with that being said, if you do want to give this a crack, what this effectively does is it takes the brains, the algorithmic models, and all the updates that we make on a sending pattern perspective and introduces it to a server that is just for you. No one has access to it, and it's just yours. It's effectively getting your own mini smart lead that you can control and own at every point in time without having to worry about any per se variabilities that we introduce, however good they are. But you get to control this, so you get to define the exact outcome of your campaign's results. And as a result, since it's isolated, you do not need to worry about any formative output of whoever else is in the platform, because this is just yours and your infrastructure that you scale up. And when you scale that up, you get to build your server reputation, which then naturally compounds out and improves the deliverability. So it's the best thing that can happen, because that keeps scaling up more and more for you. So as you grow with your servers, your deliverability also dramatically improves. So there's nothing but net positive over here for you. Now, what are the three prongs over here? So we've got the server that you own as the dedicated server. We've got the Outlook or Gmail SMTP infrastructure. In the end, the mail's job over here, the code, all this does, it just triggers the transaction. That transaction then ends up over here, and this pretty much carries the entire weight on what we call, to refer to the deliverability perspective, to the customer's inbox, which then decides what is the relay record, or where did this actually originate from. Now, as we said, originally what mattered mainly, majority of the time, was just this, and that is still the case. But to get that extra nudge and edge, as we've seen, making sure that this is completely yours and is siloed and it does not belong to any enterprise grade infrastructure such as an AWS or Google, and this is private, isolated, and just for you, has seen to give that extra edge. Now, you might go ahead and say, this is fine, this is great, but what about the fact that if this server gets blacklisted, I'm in trouble? Not to worry, we've actually introduced the principles within our core infrastructure itself. So when Smartlead launched, we had the rotating IP address as one of the core principles, which allowed us to streamline deliverability, and that's why we were consistently smashing your lead's primary inbox. And we've introduced that plus more in terms of algorithmic upgrades for deliverability. So you can actually have a rotating infrastructure for your servers. You can buy 3, 4, 5 servers, attach it to your clients or a list of campaigns, and we'll auto rotate through those servers through separate models that we have. That's IP, and you can definitely reach out and ask us. We have different types of rotating models, some based on time, some based on duration, some based upon limits, all sorts of different things, to then diversify the volume of emails that you then send to your friends at Google and Outlook or your private SMTP, which then have a dramatic or sizable impact in the potential of landing in your lead's primary folder. So in this particular situation, based upon the model that's selected, you might have emails basically sent from this server, and this server at a definitive pattern that is very humanistic and also built to ensure you got diversification and distribution of mails from these servers, which then by nature note improve the perception of deliverability. Because here's 2 points to note out. Now, Google and Outlook, let's just say this is on the sending side. So Google and Outlook also protect themselves as well as their potential leads in the perception of bad actors. So if you're hammering consistently from a server that is blacklisted per se, then this itself will block you. And you may or may not have seen that if you have used other tools or other products, or you've done this by yourself, where Google and Outlook itself goes and tells you that, hey, you're sending from a service or infrastructure that is not currently in the healthiest space. So we're actually not even going to send the email out for you because the email's been marked by spam by itself. Or even worse, Outlook just goes ahead and makes the emails disappear altogether because they've decided to protocol it that way. Now that is one part. The second part is your consumer's inbox, where Outlook and Gmail, again, most likely sit over there because they're the largest vendors in the world on an ESP perspective. They will then go ahead and say, all right, the origination piece, as I mentioned at the start of this video, the fingerprints, may belong to a set of infrastructure pieces that may not be in the best health. And therefore, that will go ahead and then potentially move it to the spam folder. By moving this to a private infrastructure that you have complete control of, again, we've got the analytics, the data, and all the alarms and alerts to prepare you for if your servers are not performing the way they have to, or they've been blacklisted somewhere. You can then go ahead and switch that up, and you will not have any issues with respect to diversification or a loss of volume, because in the end, these servers and their scale is important for you to compound and build up. But in the worst case scenario, if one breaks, not the problem at all. When I say break, if it gets blacklisted or something, not a problem at all, because the diversification is so easy. In a click of a switch, you can just make sure that your rotation is now isolated to the two servers that you have here, and you continue pumping and smashing that volume so you get your leads and yourself those increased amount of replies and then get more deal flow in. So I hope this helps. I'm very, very excited with the rest of the team to bring this completely new infrastructure to your campaigns and to your sending so you can win really big this year, get a lot of deals closed in, get a lot of replies, and get a lot of positive responses. Have a great day. Thank you, and chat soon.